Joy-Anna Duggar, known from the Duggar family and the reality television series 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off Counting On, recently spoke candidly about the personal and emotional struggles she experienced following the stillbirth of her daughter. In a heartfelt and honest reflection, she described the emotional state she endured in the months after the loss, saying that she was in a fog for 6 months. Her statements have prompted wider conversations about pregnancy loss, grief, and healing within both the public and private spheres. In sharing her experience, Joy-Anna aimed to create a space for openness, honesty, and support for other families who have walked through the painful path of stillbirth or pregnancy loss. The topic remains sensitive and is often underrepresented in mainstream discussions, especially from individuals in the public eye. Joy-Anna's decision to be transparent about her experience has been seen as a brave move by many, particularly within communities where pregnancy-related trauma is often silenced or overlooked. Joy-Anna lost her second child, a daughter named Annabelle Elise, at 20 weeks gestation in 2019. The loss came as a devastating blow to her and her husband, Austin Forsyth. They had shared the pregnancy news with fans and family, and everything appeared to be progressing normally. A routine 20-week ultrasound, however, revealed that the baby no longer had a heartbeat. In the aftermath, the couple shared their heartbreak with the public, including the name they had chosen for their daughter and how they planned to honor her memory. In the time since the stillbirth, Joy-Anna has spoken on several occasions about her emotional recovery. Her recent comments delve deeper into the mental and emotional state she was in during the months following Annabelle's passing. She expressed how difficult it was to comprehend the loss at the time and how the pain extended far beyond the initial news. According to her, the 6 months following the stillbirth felt like a prolonged haze, where daily activities felt overwhelming, and even simple tasks required enormous effort. Joy-Anna emphasized that the grief was all-encompassing. She described how she and her husband had dreamed of welcoming a new child into their family, and how those dreams were instantly shattered. The sorrow they felt was not limited to a single moment, but spread across weeks and months. Every memory tied to the pregnancy brought another wave of sadness. Her comments reflect the complexity of grief, one that doesn't adhere to a linear path, but instead surfaces in various forms and at unpredictable times. She shared that while her support system was strong, including her husband, extended family, and church community, there were days when she still felt isolated. Many people offered well-meaning words and gestures, but Joy-Anna revealed that certain phrases intended to comfort instead added to her sorrow. Phrases like, "At least you know you can get pregnant," or "You can try again soon," felt dismissive of her experience and failed to acknowledge the depth of her grief. During the 6-month period she referred to as being in a fog, Joy-Anna admitted that her mental health took a significant hit. She spoke about experiencing anxiety and sadness, especially when seeing other expectant mothers or babies. While she celebrated others' happiness, it often stirred painful reminders of what she had lost. She found it difficult to attend family gatherings or public events, not because she didn't want to be present, but because her emotional bandwidth was limited. These reactions, she emphasized, were not about bitterness, but about protecting her emotional well-being. Austin, her husband, was also deeply affected by the loss. Joy-Anna noted that while their grieving processes looked different, they were unified in their sorrow. They supported each other, talked openly, and allowed space for tears and silence. She mentioned that their bond deepened during that season, not because they wanted to grow through pain, but because they had no choice but to face it together. Joy-Anna also talked about the importance of naming their daughter and giving her a burial. Those steps were vital for closure, even though the pain didn't disappear. Naming the baby gave their daughter an identity and honored her existence. The act of memorializing her helped the couple and their family acknowledge that her life mattered, even though it was short. Joy Anna's openness about therapy and counseling following the stillbirth has been notable. She shared that professional support helped her process the trauma and provided tools for managing the emotional aftermath. In a culture where seeking help is sometimes stigmatized, especially in more conservative communities, her comments represent a shift toward normalization of mental health care. She said the therapy sessions helped her articulate emotions she couldn't previously put into words and gave her a space to grieve without judgment. The impact of the loss also extended to her relationship with her son Gideon, who was still a toddler at the time. Joy Anna noted how she tried to remain emotionally available for him while simultaneously managing her own grief. It was a challenging balance. She found herself feeling guilty at times, worrying that she wasn't giving Gideon the attention he deserved, but also realized she needed time to heal. This duality of grief and motherhood, carrying on for one child while grieving another, was one of the most emotionally conflicting aspects of that period. She later welcomed another daughter, Evelyn May, in 2020. While the birth brought immense joy, Joy Anna explained that it also carried an undertone of fear and emotional tension. She spoke about the anxiety she felt throughout the pregnancy, constantly checking for signs that something might be wrong. The trauma of losing a child had reshaped how she approached subsequent pregnancies. Every milestone was shadowed by apprehension. Nonetheless, Evelyn's birth marked a pivotal point in Joy Anna's healing process, even though it did not erase the loss of Annabelle. Joy Anna has emphasized that healing is not linear. Even now, years later, she continues to have moments of sadness, particularly around milestones like Annabelle's due date or the anniversary of her passing. She feels it's important to acknowledge those moments and give herself grace. The loss will always be part of her story, and she doesn't try to push it away. Instead, she chooses to carry it with honor and honesty. She also took time to address the broader topic of pregnancy loss awareness. Joy Anna encouraged others to speak up about their experiences and not feel ashamed. She acknowledged that every loss is unique and that there is no right way to grieve. For her, opening up publicly was therapeutic and also offered a chance to be a voice for others who may feel alone in their grief. The flood of responses she received from women who had gone through similar losses affirmed the need for open conversation. The Duggar family as a whole has experienced other pregnancy losses, and Joy Anna's story is one among several that highlight the emotional toll such events can have. She expressed gratitude for the way her siblings and parents supported her, even though it wasn't always through words. Sometimes, just sitting in silence with someone who understands is enough. In reflecting on her journey, Joy Anna pointed out the small steps that contributed to her healing, writing letters to her daughter, planting a tree in her memory, and allowing herself space to cry when needed. These actions didn't erase the grief, but helped her live with it in a healthier way. She stressed that healing does not mean forgetting, but learning to move forward while honoring what was lost. Joy Anna has used her platform to bring attention to organizations that support families dealing with pregnancy loss and stillbirth. She has partnered with nonprofits that provide emotional and financial support to grieving families. Her advocacy is not about turning her personal loss into a public cause, but rather about using her experience to help others feel less alone. Even now, Joy Anna continues to reflect on how the experience shaped her perspective. She says that it deepened her empathy and expanded her understanding of grief in others. She has become more aware of the silent battles people face and is more careful with her words when offering comfort. Her story has become part of who she is, not as a defining tragedy, but as a chapter that reshaped her inner world. Her message to others who have experienced similar losses is one of compassion and patience. She encourages others to take as much time as needed to grieve and to seek help when it feels necessary. She emphasized that grief does not follow a timeline, and it's okay to have good days and bad days. There is no shame in feeling lost, angry, or even numb. The path forward may be unclear, but it doesn't have to be walked alone. Ultimately, Joy-Anna Duggar's openness about the stillbirth of her daughter and the emotional aftermath provides a meaningful insight into the experience of grief after pregnancy loss. Her reflections offer support, validation, and comfort to others while shedding light on the reality of stillbirth. Through honesty, compassion, and continued dialogue, she has helped foster a community of shared experience and mutual support, proving that even in pain, connection and healing are possible. Jed and Katie Duggar are expanding faster than Bob and Michelle ever did. Jedidiah Jed Duggar and his wife, Katie Nakatsu Duggar, have been growing their family at a pace that has captured public attention, especially among followers of the extended Duggar family. As former cast members of TLC's Counting On and part of the larger Duggar clan, first introduced through 19 Kids and Counting, Jed and Katie's family expansion has drawn comparisons to Bob and Michelle Duggar's well-documented journey, raising 19 children over multiple decades. Jed and Katie Duggar married on April 3, 2021, in a private ceremony attended by family and friends. Since their wedding, they have become parents to 2 children in less than 3 years and have signaled that more children may be part of their plans. This pace has sparked conversations about how the younger Duggar couple may be outpacing the family growth timeline established by Bob and Michelle. Jed and Katie's first child, a son named Truett Oliver Duggar, was born in May 2022. The announcement came through social media, where Jed expressed gratitude and joy about becoming a father. Just months after Truett's birth, the couple revealed they were expecting their second child, a daughter. The news was met with excitement from Duggar fans and family members alike, and their daughter, Nora Kate Duggar, arrived in June 2023. With 2 children under the age of 2, the couple quickly became a subject of public fascination for their rapid transition into a growing household. For comparison, Bob and Michelle Duggar welcomed their first child, Joshua Duggar, in 1988, 4 years after their 1984 wedding. Their second child, Jenna, followed 2 years later in 1990. This pattern of spacing between children was not maintained for long, but it demonstrates that Jed and Katie's current family trajectory is more accelerated from the beginning. While the elder Duggars ultimately went on to have 19 children, their journey was spread across a period of more than 20 years. Jed and Katie, by contrast, have indicated they are open to having a large family and may reach high numbers more quickly depending on how many children they choose to welcome and the frequency of pregnancies. Jed has often spoken about his admiration for his parents' values and how he intends to carry those principles into his own marriage and parenting. Like many of his siblings, he was raised in a highly structured and conservative Christian household. The values of faith, family, and a strong work ethic were emphasized consistently throughout his upbringing. These themes have influenced Jed's approach to fatherhood and marriage. He and Katie have frequently expressed their shared belief that children are a blessing and a gift from God, and they have not made any public statements about limiting their family size. Katie Duggar, born Katie Nakatsu, comes from a religious background as well. Though not raised in the public eye like her husband, she has adapted quickly to the attention that comes with being a member of the Duggar family. Since marrying Jed, Katie has taken part in family gatherings, public events, and online content that aligns with the broader Duggar ethos of family-first living. On social media, she frequently shares updates about motherhood, family activities, and spiritual reflections, often centering her content around faith and gratitude. Observers have noted that while Jed and Katie follow many of the same traditions as Jed's parents, there are subtle differences in their approach. For instance, while the Duggar family has historically been more guarded about technology and social media, Jed and Katie appear more open in their online interactions. They have used platforms like Instagram and YouTube to document milestones, family moments, and life updates. Though still conservative in tone and presentation, the couple has embraced modern digital tools in a way that reflects a generational shift. The question of whether Jed and Katie are expanding faster than Jim, Bob, and Michelle is both quantitative and subjective. Numerically, they have had 2 children within the first 2 years of marriage. By comparison, Jim, Bob, and Michelle had 2 children by the end of their 5th year of marriage. If this pattern continues, Jed and Katie could indeed surpass the early childbearing rate of the Duggar patriarch and matriarch. However, it is important to note that Jim, Bob, and Michelle's family growth accelerated significantly in the years following their early parenting years, and they often had children at roughly 1-year intervals at various stages. The context of family expansion also differs between generations. Jim, Bob, and Michelle raised their children under different cultural and societal conditions. When they began having children in the late 1980s, their lifestyle was shaped by distinct economic and social expectations. They also made a deliberate decision to embrace a Quiverfull-style approach to family planning, welcoming as many children as possible without birth control. Jed and Katie have not publicly committed to a specific numerical goal for their family, but their actions so far suggest an openness to rapid growth. Another key factor influencing this generational difference is health and medical care. In recent years, advances in prenatal care, birth technology, and maternal support systems have enabled some families to grow more rapidly with fewer complications. Katie has had access to modern maternity services and support during her pregnancies. The emphasis on health, prenatal visits, and postpartum recovery has been visible in her content. She has shared moments of gratitude for safe deliveries and the support of medical staff, indicating a balanced approach to expanding their family. Public interest in the Duggar family, and by extension, Jed and Katie's household, remains high. Despite controversies that have surrounded other members of the family, including legal troubles and public criticism, Jed and Katie have kept a relatively low profile. They have remained focused on parenting, home life, and faith-based content. This focus has helped them cultivate a distinct identity within the larger Duggar narrative. It is worth noting that not all members of the Duggar family have followed the same trajectory. While several of Jed's siblings, such as Joseph, Jessa, and Joy-Anna, have had multiple children, others like Jinger and Jill have taken a slower or more selective approach to parenting. Jinger Duggar Vuolo, for example, has been vocal about reconsidering aspects of her upbringing and has embraced a more individualized path. The variation in family planning among the Duggar children highlights the diversity of choices made within the same value system. The lifestyle Jed and Katie are building also includes an emphasis on financial responsibility and home stability. Jed has been involved in real estate and political consulting, while also participating in family business ventures. The couple has not shared extensive details about their finances, but their ability to maintain a growing household suggests they are making long-term plans. They have occasionally shared glimpses of home renovation projects, family budgeting efforts, and personal organization strategies. From a societal perspective, the conversation around family size, pace of childbearing, and generational parenting styles has shifted considerably in recent years. While large families were once the norm in certain religious and cultural communities, they are now less common in broader society. Jed and Katie, by embracing a fast-growing family, are representing a more traditional model of parenting that remains significant in specific faith-based circles. The possibility of the couple expanding even further remains open-ended. With 2 children under 3 and no signs of slowing down, it is reasonable to anticipate more pregnancy announcements in the coming years. The couple's social media interactions and statements suggest that they are enjoying parenthood and feel prepared to welcome additional children. They frequently refer to their family as a blessing and have expressed joy in the challenges and rewards of raising young children. In summary, Jed and Katie Duggar are on a faster trajectory of family growth compared to Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar in their early parenting years. With 2 children born in rapid succession and a continued openness to expansion, they have become an example of accelerated family development within the Duggar lineage. While maintaining the values and traditions they were raised with, they are also navigating their journey in a modern context that allows for greater public engagement and personal expression. Whether or not they eventually surpass Jim Bob and Michelle in family size remains to be seen, but their current pace certainly positions them as one of the most rapidly growing young couples in the extended Duggar family. Duggar women reunite, detail miscarriages and pregnancy losses. The Duggar family, known for their large household and appearances on reality television shows such as 19 Kids and Counting On, recently experienced a heartfelt reunion involving several of the Duggar sisters. During the gathering, the women opened up about their deeply personal experiences with miscarriages and pregnancy losses. Jinger, Jessa, Joy-Anna, and Jill Duggar each shared their individual journeys through grief, healing, and resilience, offering insight into the challenges they have faced behind the scenes. Jessa Duggar, currently expecting her 6th child, began the conversation by acknowledging that despite her joy over her pregnancy, the journey has not been without emotional weight. She reflected on a previous miscarriage she experienced, which had a significant impact on how she approached future pregnancies. According to her, the emotional and psychological effects of that loss continue to influence her mindset. She admitted to feeling hesitation about emotionally investing in her current pregnancy during the early stages. According to Jessa, the fear of experiencing another loss made it difficult for her to fully embrace the news of a new baby. She explained how the uncertainty that follows a miscarriage can create a layer of anxiety, and that the process of bonding with the unborn child can be more guarded due to past trauma. Jessa expressed that this form of emotional self-protection is something she never anticipated before experiencing pregnancy loss herself. Jessa went on to explain that although she now feels more optimistic and connected to her current pregnancy, the early weeks were emotionally challenging. The family has been supportive, and her husband Ben has played a key role in providing comfort and encouragement. Jessa also noted that sharing her experience publicly has helped her connect with others who have gone through similar losses. Joy-Anna Duggar also spoke candidly about her own experience. She revealed that she suffered a devastating stillbirth at 20 weeks pregnant with her daughter, Annabelle Elise. The experience, which took place in 2019, was one of the most difficult periods of her life. Joy-Anna described feeling like she was in a fog for several months following the loss. She stated that grief does not follow a clear timeline and emphasized that the mourning process varies from person to person. According to Joy-Anna, even though she was surrounded by supportive family and friends, the emotional pain was something she had to process internally over time. She said that receiving support from her husband Austin Forsyth and leaning into her faith helped her gradually move forward. She also shared that her children, especially her rainbow babies, children born after the loss, brought renewed hope and healing into her life. Joy-Anna discussed how the loss of Annabelle has reshaped her perspective on pregnancy. She now approaches each subsequent pregnancy with increased caution and emotional sensitivity. She said that even small milestones, such as hearing a heartbeat during a doctor's appointment, carry significant emotional weight. Despite the sorrow she carries, Joy-Anna emphasized that the experience deepened her appreciation for the life of each child she carries. Jinger Duggar Vuolo also contributed to the conversation. Although she has not publicly spoken about experiencing miscarriage herself, she expressed deep empathy for her sisters and others who have suffered such losses. She acknowledged that the topic of miscarriage is often not discussed openly, which can leave many women feeling isolated in their grief. Jinger encouraged others to be more transparent about their experiences so that support systems can be strengthened. According to Jinger, breaking the silence around pregnancy loss can help foster community, understanding, and healing. She praised her sisters for sharing their stories and expressed admiration for their bravery. While she has 2 young daughters with her husband Jeremy Vuolo, Jinger emphasized that each pregnancy journey is unique, and that struggles with fertility and loss are more common than many people realize. Jill Duggar Dillard also joined the discussion, opening up about her own miscarriage experience. Jill shared that she and her husband Derek suffered a miscarriage in 2021. The pregnancy, although early, brought joy and excitement, which made the subsequent loss even more difficult. Jill explained that she had already envisioned what life with the new baby might look like, and the loss left her grieving not just the pregnancy, but also the future she had imagined. Jill named the baby River Bliss and chose to publicly honor the child's memory. She said that giving the baby a name helped validate her feelings and provided a way to remember and cherish the life that was lost. Jill added that the process of memorializing River gave her a sense of closure and allowed her to begin the healing process. She described the early stages after the miscarriage as emotionally turbulent. Jill said that even though she has a background in nursing and midwifery, nothing could have fully prepared her for the emotional toll of losing a pregnancy. She stated that opening up to her family and seeking counseling were essential steps in her recovery. Jill also said that the support from her husband and faith community played a crucial role in helping her regain emotional stability. During the reunion, the sisters collectively emphasized the importance of acknowledging and validating the emotions that come with pregnancy loss. They expressed that while society often focuses on healthy births and growing families, the experiences of loss and grief deserve equal recognition. The Duggar women agreed that miscarriage and stillbirth can feel incredibly isolating, and that open conversations can help others feel less alone. They encouraged other women who have gone through similar experiences to seek support and not feel ashamed or responsible for their losses. The Duggar sisters highlighted that pregnancy loss can occur for many reasons, most of which are outside of a mother's control. They emphasized the need for compassion and understanding, both for oneself and for others navigating similar circumstances. The reunion also served as a moment of reflection. The sisters acknowledged that the emotional scars of miscarriage and pregnancy loss do not simply vanish over time. Instead, those experiences become part of their stories and influence how they approach motherhood. They expressed a desire to use their platforms to bring more visibility to the issue and to advocate for emotional health in the context of pregnancy and parenting. The Duggar women also touched on how their losses have deepened their empathy for others. Joy Anna noted that since experiencing the stillbirth of her daughter, she now feels more attuned to the emotions of friends and family who face similar losses. Jessa said that becoming part of a broader community of women who have endured miscarriage has shown her the strength and resilience many women carry silently. Jill added that while sharing her story publicly was not easy, the decision allowed her to process her grief more openly and connect with others who found solace in her words. She emphasized that miscarriage does not define a woman's motherhood journey, but remains an important part of it. Jinger echoed this sentiment, stating that acknowledgement and empathy can help shift cultural perceptions around pregnancy loss and encourage more inclusive dialogue. The reunion also featured discussions about the practical aspects of pregnancy after loss. The sisters noted that medical appointments often carry more anxiety, and that symptoms that might once have been dismissed now feel more concerning. They described how their experiences have taught them to advocate for themselves during prenatal care and to pay closer attention to emotional well-being as well as physical health. While each sister had a unique journey, they all agreed on the value of honoring the babies they lost. Whether through naming, journaling, or simply acknowledging the loss in private or public ways, the Duggar women stressed that every life matters and every story deserves to be told. As the reunion came to a close, the sisters reiterated their commitment to supporting one another and to helping others through similar trials. They expressed gratitude for the opportunity to share their stories and hoped that doing so would contribute to a more compassionate understanding of miscarriage and pregnancy loss. Through honesty, empathy, and faith, the Duggar women continue to navigate the challenges of motherhood together, one story, one memory, and one shared experience at a time. The Duggar family, long associated with large families and traditional values, has gradually begun to show more layers of complexity and humanity. This reunion among the Duggar sisters demonstrates that even public figures are not immune to heartbreak, and that healing often begins through shared stories and mutual support. With their willingness to speak openly about miscarriage and pregnancy loss, the Duggar women hope to offer comfort, solidarity, and encouragement to anyone walking a similar path.